All right, what's going on, traders, man? I just wanted to tap back in with y'all and see what we got going on for this week, man. Last week was fire. The yen pairs continue to pay out. So we're going to see how things play this week. This is NFP week. All right, we're going into the first week of December, the last week of this fiscal year. All right, so we got NFP on the board. We got CAD unemployment rate, employment change on Friday, unemployment claims on Thursday for the dollar. Um, we got job openings. We got CPI. So I'm actually still focused on the yen pairs, but we will check out some dollar pairs as well. All right. So let's see. So like starting with the dollar index, you can see here on the weekly, price has printed this big engulfing candle, right? Looking to the left where price had a major fall in the past. What price did is it grabbed some liquidity, right? Slightly closed above, but nothing too convincing. And then we just had a big dump. So now we got this big engulfing candle on the weekly, which tends to be a big sign that price is likely to continue down further. All right. So we're going to see how things play out this week. If we go down to the daily chart, if you always look left to go right, we're sitting roughly around this level of structure. All right. So a break below there would be a good indication of more downside. So if we see here, like on a 4 hour, we could possibly see some type of pullback first, possibly before any downside. But once we break below here, then it's likely that we're going to see a bigger fall on the dollar. All right. Looking at gold. So gold, I was anticipating gold to find some support here at this level of structure where we did pump from. Looking to the left, right? This was a level of demand, level of structure here in the past where price had a big rise. So we did that. But now price is roughly around this level of structure where it could begin to maybe sell off again. If you look at the weekly, but looking at the weekly, gold did print this big bullish engulfing, all right, which goes in line what we see with the bearish indication on the dollar, with gold being inverse of the US dollar. So this move is likely just a correction, right, before continued upside. All right, so looking here on the daily and the 4 hour, it's rejecting a bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if gold gave a deeper fall before any more wave to the upside, right? Or if it wants to hold here on this correction, it could just be a correction, a bullish wave, or a bullish flag setting up for the continued up. Me personally, not really looking to trade gold this week, but I'm interested to see how it play out. Now, AU has really been nasty, honestly. It's been just ranging around this level. We look at the weekly. It's a lot of support down here. All right. But if we get the dollar pressure to continue to the downside, then this is likely going to be a major level for price to hold demand to give us a wave up. All right. So looking at the daily, it's struggling here. It came down and did bottom out right here. So this could be a potential double bottom right there, setting up for another wave up. All right. If price continues to hold firm, hold this level above 6.5, we could see price continue to the upside on the pullbacks. GU. So GU found major support at this level, right? Around this level of structure. Excuse me. So we see here on the weekly, what we get, we got a bullish engulfing. Nice bullish engulfing, which is a strong indication of more upside coming, right? So I am expecting GU to give us a bigger move up. All right. So if we go down to the daily, we could see, like I covered last week, if we were to get a close or break above this level of structure, that's a good sign. So this is a previous level of major demand, right? So here on the daily, we just got to close above this level, right? A daily close here above this level. So I like for this level to hold, all right? But even if it did pull back a little further, I'll still be leaning toward buys. So the first thing I would look for if I was trading GU, I would look for this level to hold first, right? So we are holding above here now. So maybe it pushes a little higher first, but on the pullbacks, I would say look for the opportunity to continue up and stay above this level of structure. Now, if it was to break back down, then that's likely just a bigger pullback before continue waves up. But I will only look for buys on GU if I was looking to trade. If I'm looking to trade GU this week, I will only look for buy opportunities. Same thing on EU. I actually caught some of this buy. All right. Now, if we look at this, same thing. We look at this on a weekly. big bullish engulfing on the weekly, closing back above this level of structure, this major level of demand, right? So we pumped below that level, then we just got a big firm impulsive close back above. We look at this on the daily, all right? Price had firm close above the level of structure. So I'm still bullish on this. Looking at the weekly, looking at the dollar, everything is lining up for dollar bears to continue, right? Based off how it's looking, in my opinion, just based off of price action. So either price continues up from here and catch the pullbacks for the continue wave, or if it gives a correction from here first, some type of pullback, on that pullback, I would look for opportunity to go long again. All right. JPY index, we could see a major pump, strong close on the weekly, right? Straw pump on the weekly. Also looking at the daily, we got a strong bullish engulfing close on the daily above this level of structure. So for me, I still like buys. It might pull back some, but overall, I think this is going to give us another wave up. All right. Now, GJS is interesting because we are sitting at this major level of structure. All right. But judging based off the index, I believe we could possibly break this right here. This is a major level, though. We look to the left. This was a major level of demand here in the past. All right. It also became demand here. Right. So now we're sitting here, but just looking at price action, it's still bearish. The daily close strong, bearish. All right. So if we go down to, let's say, the 4-hour, this is the area, right? I actually call sales from here on this retest. I called a continuation sale to end the week. All right. Now, price, for me to look to continue to sell this, I would either look for a correction back towards these levels, right? A correction up for that next wave down. Either that or look for price to continue. If it don't pull back like that, look for the break of structure, then catch the pullback or the retest for the next wave. All right, so looking at EJ, same thing. All these yen pairs is going to be the same things, but just so you can see that, man, just take your pick. Yen pairs follow each other. They all go the same direction. It's a lot of volume in the yen. But same thing with EJ. We came down to this major level of demand, but we could be setting up to break this. Because looking at the weekly candles, we got strong closes on the weekly. Strong closes on the weekly. So if we look here, same thing. Let's say if we go down to the 4-hour. All right, price technically did just break below this level. If you look right here, right, technically this close right here, this 4-hour candle just closed below. It closed below. So that could be a good sign. Now, we could still see a bigger pullback first. But looking at this on a 4-hour, you can see clean structure. Our price is making lower lows and lower highs, right? Lower high, lower low on this retest. This was the banger that I actually called out. All right, that I called out here in the Discord. Also Telegram. We caught the sell up here, big dump. All right, on that retest of structure. Price slight pullback here and continue. So now I'm looking for the same thing. I'm just looking to ride that wave up, right? Maybe get a pullback or retest within these levels. All right, previous retest of structure, and look to ride this out on a pullback or retest. Look for the continuation down. All right, based around the daily, I would expect price to stay below this bearish engulfing. All right, so on that pullback, something along the lines of this. If this is how we look at it on the retest, look for entries up here, stop loss above. All right, and you just ride this down. This probably can go further. All right, looking at this on the daily. If we break through that level, then yeah, we coming down further towards these levels. 170, 157.5, possibly all the way back down here to 156 support. Same thing on CADJPY. So on CADJPY, we just got a firm. This looks clean. I really like this even better because this is a clean, firm breaker structure now. Instead of like, well, EJ is still slight break. GJ is kind of sitting there. But on CADJPY, this is no ifs, ands, or buts. This is a clean break. Previous structure right here. Here on the daily, beautiful bearish engulfing breaker structure, right? So now I'm just looking for a pullback or retest. Same thing, right here. I would like to see this pullback within here, right? Pulls back within here, look for that continuation wave to the downside. All right, and judging based off the daily, we could come back down towards these levels, 156, between 156, 155.5, possibly all the way down to 155 support. All right. So this is a beautiful setup, on the pullback, Look for the continuation down. UJ, same thing, especially with the dollar being weak, and then we got yen strength. So, but this is also similar to like GJ, EJ. They're pretty much right at these previous levels of structure. Because if you look to the left, this was support, demand, but also in the past, this was a major top. All right. Now it's still got a little room to actually fully hit that, like 150, 149, 3-ish. All right. So, but on the daily, it's so beautiful, really, honestly, because we broke that level of structure. If we look on the weekly major engulfing or major evening star. This is a big evening star rejection on the weekly, which is a good sign the price is likely to have a bigger move to the downside. So we got a lot of momentum to the downside. So we might not get no deep pullbacks like that. Daily, firm break below structure, right? Broke below this level of structure here to the left, right? So now, if I go down to like the 4-hour, I would like to see a pullback, all right? Pullback in these levels, right? Really like within here, within this structure low, at least, within this structure low, probably get a retest of that, right? That would be the areas I look for on the pullback or retest to take this down further, right? So something within here, entries, right? 150.8-ish, possibly higher, stop loss above. Really, my stop loss would be above, this daily candle. Expect price to stay above. Expecting price to stay below that. And targets back down here, right? Targets to the downside. So that's what I would look for on UJ. Same thing with CHFJPY, CHFJPY. We coming back down, potentially down towards these lows, right? Coming back down here. But if we look at the daily continued. We look at the weekly, major close below structure. Daily right here, just continuing to flush, right? Nice close. So we got a lot of momentum right now to the downside. Now, this is going to be interesting to see if this pulls up because you see how this 4-hour candle closed, it pulled up a little bit, then we had a nice rejection. So I wouldn't be surprised if this stays below that and continue. But if it does pull up, this is the level I'll be looking for. This will be the ideal area for a retest. All right. I can even take my fib. All right. A retest of there will be anywhere between like basically a 61.8. All right. Basically a 61.8, which would be ideal. So a retest of this low, right? I look for entries pretty much around 171, 170.9-ish. Look for the entry. All right. Stop loss above this structure and ride this down, right? And ride this down to these levels potentially. All right. Simple. And you see here on AJ, it's just as simple as this. On AJ, we got a major engulfing candle, right? On the weekly. So all these weekly, it's a lot of momentum right now. The daily, nice bearish engulfing close. And if you look to the left, we're closing below structure, breaking structure basically, right? Boom. So really, what I like to see is a pullback or retest. We slightly got it right here. Slightly got it. When price broke here, it actually came for a little slight retest right here. So that could have been an entry. But I'd like to see another one. Hopefully, if you get another one, that could be another opportunity. Retest within there, something along those lines. Get another one. Entries, stop loss above. All right. Stop loss above there. And then targets to the downside. And this also could be a nice risk to reward play. All right, ride this down. This can be a big fall over the coming weeks. Especially if the volume stays in the yen to the upside, this could come potentially all the way back down here. But you don't need that much. If you get your 1 to 2, 1 to 3, if you want to trail your stop, just ride the wave. But I'm gonna ride this wave as much as we can on these yen pairs. Because you see, when they move, they move. All right. So that's on my watch list. Again, focusing heavily on the yen.